Hey guys, how you doing today? This is David Lucas back here again. Welcome back to my channel. And now today I'm coming back at you again for another Falcon and Winter Soldier review. Yes guys, we're back here again for another Falcon Winter Soldier review. We skipped last week's episode because, I usually don't really do every single episode review usually. I do basically a few episodes, most of the episodes, and then at the ending of the show I kind of give my final thoughts of the overall show. So now, after last week's episode, though, I think that I really need to talk about this because, yeah, last week's episode was a big one. And let me just say, right off the bat, that this is probably my favorite episode of this whole season, actually. I think it's safe to say, so far at least, because I think there's 2 more episodes left, but so far at least, this is definitely my favorite episode of the whole season. Maybe my favorite episode of the entire MCU Disney Plus series of Falcon, Winter Soldier, and WandaVision all together. This episode was just amazing. And part of that to do is because this is the most character-based, most darkest, most story-pushing, and character development type of story we have yet, I think, out of any episode of this show. And again, like I said, like in WandaVision, it literally felt like a straight-up MCU movie. It felt like exactly how I felt when I first saw Winter Soldier, the first Winter Soldier movie with Captain America. On the edge of my seat, all completely glued to the screen. Great action, great serious tone, mixed with still a little bit of humor and uplifting feeling. But at the same time, very serious and very real, and it felt grounded and just very in-world and grounded, which I like, which is something you don't see much in the MCU. Now, right off the bat, I gotta say what I loved about this episode was that how we finally start seeing John Walker, U.S. agent, well, he's not U.S. agent yet, but start to slippery fall and start to get even more frustrated and angrier, and we finally start to see as this episode's going on that you start to understand that he's not really a bad guy. He's not that much of a bad guy. He's just a normal guy that's trying to do the right thing for Cap, and he's trying to honor the legacy of Cap. He is a fan of Cap, and in his head, he never even asked to be Cap. He never asked for this position. This was handed to him by the government. And now he gets it all thrown on his tables. He hasn't had the serum. He is dealing with the struggles of not being strong like Cap because Cap had the serum. He's dealing with the people not respecting him. Dealing with Cap's old friends not respecting him. He's really, you see how much he's dealing with stuff. And he says to his partner Lamar in this episode that where he's like, I am trying to be the best Captain America I can be. And I just keep failing. No one takes me seriously. I don't have the serum like him. I don't have him. And I like that conversation we have with him and his partner, where his partner is telling him how Steve, how he's telling him how the serum enhances your personalities. And how if you're bad, it enhances you being bad. And if you're good, it enhances you being good. He also said, too, what Sam has been saying was that really Steve is kind of special. Steve was really the only person that could have it. But when you start to have that conversation, you can see in John Walker that he starts to think I am a good guy. I have good intentions. I want to do the right thing. Maybe I do really deserve this. And the government picked me. Maybe I do deserve this. When really he doesn't. He really doesn't. Now this show is honestly making me more and more of a Zemo fan. Every single time Zemo is on the screen here, every time Daniel Brawl is speaking and is doing his Zemo stuff is great. And on top of that, he is so much comic accurate now to the comic book version of Zemo, which I really appreciate and love a lot, that they are going that far. In Civil War, like I said before, he wasn't that comic accurate. He wasn't the comic book Zemo that I knew from the comic books. Daniel Brawl was great, but he just wasn't Zemo. Now, in this show fully, I can say, oh yeah, this is Zemo. This is what I expect to see Zemo. And I like, too, how they're making Zemo almost an anti-hero. How, we know that he's up to no good. We know that he's some part in this show. He's gonna betray them, and he's gonna do something evil. But he has, again, good intentions. His intentions are that he doesn't believe, he even says kind of in the show that Captain America is really the only person, again, another person saying Captain Steve Rogers is the only person that really could handle that serum. And that's a big theme that we're seeing here, and that's something that why Falcon, in the first place, didn't choose to keep the shield, because he believed that too, that Captain America is the only, well, that Steve Rogers is the only person that can take the shield. And we're seeing that theme going on more and more in this. And in this episode, we really start to understand more truly of what our characters' ideals and thoughts are. You know, that's including Carly, the Flag Smasher, and Ron Walker as U.S. Agent, and Sam, and Bucky, and then Zemo too. We're seeing all these different ideals and ideologies, but we're seeing that these people they're all trying to do the right thing. The Flag Smashers truly believe that the world is better when everyone's united. That's what they want. They don't want barriers. They don't want, flags or the race or classes. They don't want any of that. They want everyone just to be equal and free. But the way they're going about it, and I love the conversation between Sam and Carly in this, that they have a conversation, and you see the way that Sam says, like, I understand what you're coming from. I understand. I agree with you to an extent. And he does. He says, I agree with you to an extent, but the way that you're going about this is wrong. You're killing people. You're hurting people. You're stealing things. You're going about this the wrong way. You have the side of John Walker that I already explained, that he believes he is serving the true American way. He thinks he is honoring the legacy of Steve Rogers, and that's why he's becoming so frustrated, because he feels like he is failing because he doesn't have the serum, which is going to come playing into later on in this episode. Now, the best thing about this show so far that I gotta say, and this is probably one of the best scenes maybe out of the whole show in general, and some of the best things that I just love in storytelling sense and character development sense and action sense and just any kind of sense, this scene was so great and perfect. And that is what you guys probably already know, is the final scene with John Walker kills a man. What I love about this scene so much is that in the beginning of the episode, we see this guy is talking to Carly, and he's telling her how he looks up to Captain America, how Captain America, he idolizes Captain America, and that he idolizes what the shield stands for, and that he loves and respects what the shield stands for, and that he believes what they are doing as Flag Smashers is what Captain America would truly do. And in a way, he's kind of right. I mean, Steve Rogers did go against the American government in Civil War. He did. He went against the American government. He became an enemy of the state because Captain America does not serve a country. He does not serve a flag. He serves the American dream. Not the government, not the leader, the dream. And that's what that guy saw, and that's what he believes the Flag Smashers are doing, what their movement is doing. That's what he believes, and he idolizes Captain America. He said he looked up to him, and he idolizes what the shield stands for and appreciates and loves what the shield stands for. Now, fast forward into the ending of the show, Carly kills Lamar, John Walker's partner, John Walker's Bucky, basically. Then that sets off John Walker, and when they're all in the middle of this big fight, and I love the performance, by the way, by Wyatt Russell. His performance when he's checking up on Lamar, and he's checking to see if he's okay. And we see that turn. We see him we see the snapping, and then the music playing a little bit in the background. We see him kind of like moving his head and twitching a little bit. And we see him basically start losing his mind. Reminded me a lot, too, back in Star Wars Episode 2 when Anakin, when he saw his mom die, and he starts to snap, and he goes and kills the sand people. This is what the scene kind of reminds me of in a way. And he runs and chases after that same guy that said earlier on in the show that he looked up to Captain America. He looked up to the shield itself and the dream. He chases after him, and this is when it's revealed fully that John Walker took the serum. This is when it gets fully revealed that he took, even though I had suspicions, or because they teased it a little bit, it's revealed now that he has a serum, that he took it, that there was a serum that Zemos was destroying early on in the episode before, and then he took it, and there was one that was still left that he forgot to destroy, and John Walker saw it, and he took it. Well, now it's shown that he ended up taking that serum. And we see it now. That's why he's going into this full rage mode right now. It's because you have to add it on with the serum and his best friend dying. He chases after the guy and then murders him brutally. And the defenseless guy holding up his hand saying, please don't. It wasn't me. Because it wasn't really him. It was Carly. It wasn't him. And then he murders this man with the shield that this man looked up to and idolized his whole life in front of everyone. He killed him. And oh my God, that scene, I was on the edge of my seat. I was going, no. Like, I haven't been that glued and that intense and that on the edge of my seat in a Marvel film in a very long time. And it's not even a Marvel film. It was a TV show. And it got me to feel that way. And this is so great. And I loved it because it wasn't even, because it has to do with even the storytelling. With how the guy was saying earlier on in the episode, how he looks up to Captain America and he looks up to the Shield. Only to be murdered by Captain America and by the Shield. And we see right here that it proves in that last image, too, of John Walker holding the shield and then with the blood all over the shield. That was haunting. One of the most haunting scenes in the entire MCU. See that, no, this shield, this is not how that shield is supposed to be used. That's not how this shield is supposed to be, used and shown. And it's haunting, and the whole world is watching. The whole world is taking videos of it. Sam sees it. Bucky sees it. Even Carly sees it, and she goes walking away. It was such a intense and impactful moment, especially for John Walker, too, as a character. That is the character arc. That is the character story, the bridge now, to where he goes from being John Walker, the man, to now U.S. agent from the comic books. And I can't wait to see him full-blown U.S. agent now, because we know he has a serum. He just committed a murder. Yeah, he's going full U.S. agent now, and I can't wait. Now, guys, my overall thoughts on this episode is like what I said before. This is my favorite episode of the whole season, and probably of the MCU Disney Plus series of the entirely. I absolutely loved this episode. I thought it was amazing from start to finish, with storytelling, with character development, with action, with deepness. Everything was so great and perfect in this episode. It felt like a movie. I didn't even want it to end. And now, for the first time of the show, I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for the next episode. I want to know what's going to happen next. Where are we going to go from here? That is my big suspicion, is what are we going to do from here? Is the government going to support him, or is the government going to take the shield from him? Is he going to go full rage and then go against the government? Is what's going to happen? Because this was all taken on video. People were out there looking and seeing this happening. How are they going to do this? No, everyone knows the American government likes to cover stuff up. They like to cover a lot of their shit up, and they're the ones who hired John Walker. So I'm really curious as to how they're going to react to this and how the whole world will react to this. I can't wait to see where we go forward from this episode. Let me know down in the comment section below, and let me know what you guys liked about this episode. Did you not like this episode? Did you like this episode? And let me know what you think is going to go on in the last 2 episodes of this season. I'm hearing that next episode, episode 5, is going to be one of the biggest episodes ever, and there was supposed to be this big cameo of a big new character from the comic books with some big actor, or I don't know who. I don't know anything about that, but it's just stuff I'm hearing. I can't wait for Friday morning to check out this new episode, because wow, this episode was great. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you guys give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.